Hi guys, if the desktop you've chosen, and there are around 30 desktops, is not working because of an update, major updates, small updates, we have got Plasma, we have Gnome, things like that. They have these major releases and sometimes things are not the way they should be. Today I got a message online on YouTube saying Gnome is breaking, right? So Gnome went, I think it's at 47, but we'll see. Sure enough, if we go for ATT, this is the ArcoLinux tweak tool, but let's launch it via the terminal. So I see some numbers going on. What will be installed? What number is it? The desktop Gnome. And basically my message to you guys is use what works, right? Things might fail. It is all depending on what the developers do, then what Arch does, and then we install just what Arch provides. In this case it's Gnome, and you see here lots of errors here, returned. There's a problem here, but this ISO, this installation has never been updated. It's a VirtualBox. That means that I still need to update everything because it has no idea where all the packages are. It tries to find it. Error, failed retrieving the file. Error, failed retrieving file. So he wants to retrieve a file and doesn't find it on the server. So basically update your system, or mirrors, another thing, 715 megabyte. And the last time I booted up this thing was, right, I started in September the 5th, it's now September 22. Yeah, this is ArcoLinux, right? Yeah, there will be updates. 715 megabyte of updates. So before you install anything new, also a good thing to remember, make sure you have an up-to-date system. 1, 2, if this graphical thing, no, two would be probably mirror or mirror S, something like that. Mirror. There are a few mirrors here, all about where do I get my stuff. And there's RAM, and there is RAM S. S is HTTP, and if you're wondering all this is, just type alias RAM S, for example. Rate mirrors, allow root, disable comments. Protocol is HTTPS for Arch, and write it inside the mirror list. So this is where the packages are coming from today on my system. Basically it's Osbeck, which is Sweden, and then the rest is geo mirror, package build, rackspace, and mirrors kernel. And then it goes down the list. But first one is this one. If it's not here, it'll find it in the second one. It's not there, third, fourth, it's just going down the list. Okay, so that's how mirrors work. You can go click like this then. As you see, the two kernels are still there. It is your choice, but there is a tool to decide to give you less time in updating. When you have two kernels, it takes twice the time to build all these packages. So one of the things we have is remove things. The advantage is, if you have a troublesome PC, you can test the normal kernel, and you can test the Zen kernel. There's also the LTS kernel and the CachyOS kernel. So you can test something. You can boot up from USB in order to install it with a different kernel, hoping that kernel understands your main motherboard, your system, and gets everything and installs everything. But if you don't have a troublesome PC, well, one kernel is actually enough. The last 7 years I have never had any use or interest for another kernel. The Linux kernel is always good enough for me. So remove, and then there is a few things. We have Broadcom and Realtek drivers, but if you don't have them, it will take now time. Right, is building Realtek, is building Broadcom, is building Realtek, is building Broadcom twice because two kernels. So first thing I would do is decide what kernel to use, and then decide one of those guys, remove all kernels but keep the Zen, or remove all kernels but Linux LTS. My choice is this one, remove all kernels and keep the normal Linux kernel. I'll do this one as well, and all the rest is maybe also something some people don't like variety, so you can do that. All kernels but Linux, yes, and then my password. So Zen is out. That's it. So reboot. Let's reboot, then the ATT, and then see if GNOME is sick. And that might be just possible. And if things break, like Pamac, like Paru and Yay a few weeks ago, right? Give it 3 days, and everything is fixed. Linux is open source. Linux is not a company. Linux is driven by people. Give the people the time. All right, there we go for GNOME again. So desktop, GNOME, install. So it's going to check out all this. This is the big chunk. This is not a package. This is, I don't know, 30, 40 packages. So Firefox can't run it. I'll have to wait for the installation, but Firefox is not installed, so hence it can't be installed, it can't be run. Now I missed it, the message up here, but it seems to be installed. GNOME has been installed, he says. So there is no way to check if a group package is installed. Of course there's not. Let me first show you sudo pacman -s Firefox. That GNOME is something quite big. Now that Firefox is installed, I can actually press the button, right? Arch wiki GNOME. Let's see what we get. Cancel, accept everything, blah 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 blah. I need a link to Arch. This one. So this is what you install if you type GNOME. You count how many packages there are, maybe 20 or 30, something like that. But needed or not needed, that's debatable, right? But it's not up for debate. I mean, it's somebody else who decides for us. Arch says, if you type GNOME, this is what you get. You might want to get rid of a few things in there, but that you do afterwards. Right, sudo pacman remove a particular package. Let's get out. What I still don't know is sudo pacman -remove GNOME session, for example. Now I just wanted to know the number, so I can't know the number like that. Let's do a GNOME session. 47, that's the number. Okay. Logout. We could have seen it in the browser as well. Wow. GNOME gives us a lot of choices, right? I've made a video how to get rid of some of them on YouTube. You can find it. So GNOME Classical and Wayland, and then brackets, GNOME and Wayland, GNOME Wayland, Qtile Wayland. It's also there, awesome chat problem. But GNOME Classic, GNOME Classic, GNOME XR, GNOME, right? I don't know which one to choose. Do you? I think I'm gonna take this one, because Wayland on a virtual machine is always tricky. Let's begin. Funny in ArcoLinux. So that's the variable they fill in. I do not do anything, right? Just to be sure. GNOME is straight from Arch. So if there are issues, ArcoLinux bug, and then you go to the bug website and you find out they forgot something in the GNOME release, or it's Arch or it's GNOME, right? But we rarely do anything in GNOME. I don't think we have a lot of packages regarding GNOME, but you can always check. Sudo pacman -remove ArcoLinux. This is what we add. So if there's anything GNOME in here, there's GNOME dconf, then GNOME git. You can have a look what that is specifically, and all the rest is just general stuff. All right. Now, don't the packages you saw, don't forget this is a multitude of packages, multitude of desktops, I want to say. I have Awesome there, I have ChatWM there, and I have Qtile and XFC. I have 4 things there, right? Plus GNOME. So I don't think there's an issue, not at this point in time. It's probably not helpful for the user, but it might be a Wayland thing, so that's something you have to consider. It might be a driver thing. Or what did you do, right? Retrace. Let's see if GNOME Wayland actually works, or is sometimes jittery, or just a black screen. It's all kind of things that we see, like Qtile, Wayland never worked for me. They are experimenting and figuring out what to do with Wayland. Many desktops are, many developers are. So if you like a black screen, definitely put into GNOME Wayland. That's nice. It's no cursor, nothing, so it's even black screen. That's fun. Control F. Aha, Control F. Sometimes it triggers the machine. So we have lift off, but I click here, I click another time, third time, Control T, super enter, Control F, Control F. Right, you got the message. File, close, power of the machine. So okay, I'm gonna put this video online. Maybe if you watch this video, there is some educational value in it. But yeah, GNOME 47 seems to work. It depends just what you choose, probably. So choose wisely at the beginning, at the login screen, whether it be LightDM or SDM. Cheers.